In my last video, we went over using addressable RGB LED strips. In this video, we are going to cover analog strips. The first clue of the difference between the two is the markings. Here we can see 5 volts R, G, and B. The addressable LED strip has 5 volts, G, ND, DO, and D in markings. Check my last video to see how to make these work. Aside from price, there is really little reason to buy these type of strips. Even that is not really a factor, as we will discover shortly. Let's get into it. Like I mentioned earlier, there's really not much point buying these types of LED strips. But if you've ended up with one by accident, or you just want to get it running for testing, we can absolutely do that. These are non-addressable LED strips, which means there's no controller chip on the strip itself. So instead of sending digital data, we can literally just apply power to the pins, and the whole strip will light up at once. The downside is obvious. Every LED does exactly the same thing. We can't control individual pixels, we can't animate them, and everything is always on or off together. On the plus side, if you have a strip like this with a few dead LEDs, it's still usable. With addressable strips, a single failed pixel can sometimes take out everything downstream. Here, the rest of the strip will usually just keep going. For this test setup, we'll use an Arduino Uno, a breadboard, and some jumper wires. There is, however, one important gotcha. With addressable LEDs, we could get away with just a small signal line and a resistor. But with this kind of strip, we're dealing with real current draw. If we tried to power it directly from the Arduino, we'd very quickly damage the board. So we need something in between to handle the load. You could use a proper MOSFET driver for this, and that would be the correct way to do it. I'm going to be a little cheeky here and use this board instead. If you've watched my videos before, you'll recognize this as a stepper motor driver. Normally it's used for motors, but the chip on here can handle higher currents. So for a quick test setup, it will do the job just fine. Here's our wiring. And straight away you can see just how much easier the addressable LED strips are to work with. Let's quickly run through what's going on. We've got VIN and GND coming into the breadboard power rails. From there, we're feeding power into the driver board. Now for control, we're using 3 digital I/O pins from the Arduino. Each one is assigned to a color channel, and those signals go into the inputs of the driver board. On the output side of the driver, we connect directly to the LED strip itself. We also connect VIN straight through to the 5-volt line on the LED strip to power it. So in simple terms, the Arduino is handling the control signals, the driver board is handling the current, and the LED strip is just responding to whatever we send it. Now that everything is hooked up, let's jump into the code. So based on the example I showed in the addressable video earlier, this is about as simple as it gets. We're not dealing with any smart control or data protocols here. We're just treating each color channel like a basic output and driving it directly from the Arduino. Now, even though I said earlier, these lights basically just turn on and off, there is actually a bit more we can do. Because we're using PWM capable outputs, we can control the brightness of each channel. That means instead of just full on red, green, or blue, we can blend them together by varying the duty cycle. In this setup, we're using GPIO pins 3, 5, and 6 on the Arduino. These are important because not every pin supports PWM, and we need PWM to control brightness properly. So in the code, we simply define those pins as outputs, and instead of writing a digital high or low, we use analog write to set a value between 0 and 255. 0 means completely off, 255 means full brightness, and everything in between gives us smooth color mixing. What this means in practice is we can create any color we want just by adjusting the intensity of red, green, and blue individually. So even though this isn't an addressable strip and we can't control individual LEDs, we can still get a surprising amount of flexibility just by using PWM. Let's fire it up and see what we get. Alright, let's plug this thing in and see what happens. And you can see the driver board LEDs are pulsing as expected. Normally when this is connected to a stepper motor, you'd actually see that phase shifting as the coils energize in sequence. Now looking at our LED strip, all of the pixels are lighting up together, which is exactly what we expect from this kind of analog RGB strip. Apart from this one LED here, looks like we've lost the red and green channels on that section, so it's only partially working. But again, this is one of the key differences with this type of strip. There's no individual control at all. Everything on the strip responds together. If you are running a longer strip like this, it's also really important to pull the power away from the Arduino. Like I showed in the previous video, using a separate 5-volt supply like a power bank is the safest way to do it. That way the Arduino is only handling the control signals, not trying to supply all the current. So hopefully that clears up how these analog RGB strips work and what they're actually good for. If you made it this far, you should definitely subscribe. Thanks for watching.